SNAP benefits scheme. New details tonight as this state worker and her daughter face federal charges for allegedly stealing benefits meant for the poor.
That's right. The mom is a Rhode Island Department of Human Services supervisor. Dan and Patrice, investigators say the DHS supervisor allegedly stole personal information from hundreds of SNAP recipients through her job, all as part of a fraudulent scheme to buy groceries. The two allegedly used those cards to purchase items here at a Cranston Stop and Shop, as well as a Walmart and a Market Basket in Warwick. Federal prosecutors say the total value of the SNAP EBT benefit cards the suspects used is $191,000.
She should do $190,000 days in jail.
Walked in one by one, some hung their heads, others wore their feelings right there on their T-shirts. Today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office announced an undercover operation they've been working on for months, resulted in more than 100 arrest warrants and close to 40 arrests.
This is a huge problem, and we're like one of maybe 3 or 4 law enforcement agencies in the state of Florida that have decided to do something about this.
And it has to do with just that. Meal tickets in the form of EBT cards for low-income individuals being fraudulently used. One part of the investigation centered around Gerald Millis, a local restaurant owner who police say purchased EBT cards from people for 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and then stocked his local Pizza Pros restaurant with food he bought using those cards.
We were able to determine that he used 53 different EBT cards at Sam's Club.
Police say 55 people were also caught illegally selling their EBT cards to undercover detectives.
A couple of them said, "I'm headed to go get some rock cocaine."
A beyond frustrating reality for taxpayers who today learned their hard-earned money is being misused.
Let the crackdown begin. If you've been jugging and finessing, they gonna teach you a lesson. All of that food stamp fraud gonna end you up in the pen. All of the hustlers getting knocked and locked, sent up the road for all of that food that they got on EBT that got sold. Real talk though, look, the fraudsters getting caught up. The law's been in place, it's been illegal to sell food stamps. They're just finally enforcing them. This video right here, where ain't nobody selling their EBT no more. Like everybody's scared now, they like, I'm not about to play with it.
Anybody got that EBT for sale? Anybody got that EBT for sale? EBT for sale? Just trying to get a turkey. I'm just trying to get a turkey. Anybody got that EBT? Anybody gonna buy me a turkey? What? Nobody got no EBT for sale around here?
They don't even want to look at the camera. They're like, I ain't about to incriminate myself. I think that's about done, because saying that you sell those yamps on camera might get you locked up in that slammer. This segment of the video is for anyone that might be wondering, how could somebody commit food stamp fraud? If you haven't heard of it, then this is for you. For educational purposes only, this woman on the screen will show you a couple of ways that people are frauding out other people for them yamps.
There's many ways that you can commit food stamp fraud, and I'm gonna just let you know a couple. One way is by selling your food stamps, where you give somebody $200 worth of food stamps only for $100 in cash. Another way would be selling your food stamps to the stores. Like the stores, they be trying to buy people food stamps so that they can go buy supplies and snacks and stuff for their stores and then sell it for cash.
So the first way is you could actually commit fraud as the EBT recipient. You selling stamps to your cousin, your mama, your grandma, your brother, your sister, whoever. You selling them, that's a crime. You're not supposed to sell them. They were issued to you in your name. Those are for you. They're not for you to make any cash off of it. Can't sell them to stores either. Clearly stores are buying their inventory with the stamps. You can't do that either. That's a crime.
Another way would be using your food stamps to create a business. Like instead of you feeding your kids, you making plates and selling them for whatever reason. Lying on your application is another way for food stamp fraud, because you know they only give it to certain people, and for people who can't qualify, they lie on the application just to get it. Also, you purchasing tobacco or alcohol on your food stamp card, and stores that allow you to purchase alcohol and tobacco on your food stamp card. It's a couple people that's buying crack cocaine, weed with food stamps. Like, basically, they saying
people buying the drugs from the plugs with the stamps. Where they do that at? Hey, where they do that at? I ain't know they did that. Seriously, where do they do that at? They don't do that where I come from. I ain't never heard nobody doing that, but you can make a type of exchange. So people always willing to barter. Hey, I ain't got the money, but will you accept this? I see that's how they doing it. Yeah, go ahead. That's cool.
If you're using the government to get food stamps, but you're not actually putting food in your house for you and your kids, it's fraud. You don't need it. It's people out here that actually do need it. And if you're doing that, then you're taking away from the mouths of the people who actually do need it.
For all SNAP recipients, the USDA says they all must reapply for their benefits due to all of the ongoing fraud. The fraud has gotten to the point it's so extreme, they want everybody to reapply. I don't know if the terms and conditions are changing, if this is their way to get everybody to reapply, ban some people from getting assistance. We already know it was just on the chopping block. People were just missing their stamps for November, right? It was a whole back and forth. Trump didn't want to give out the funds. He was doing everything that he could. Now all of a sudden, everybody got to reapply. Seemed like a setup to me. Seemed like this is going to kick a lot of people off probably that either were not supposed to be getting it in the first place, and maybe some also that need it, but they just don't qualify no more for whatever reasons. We know things are not fair at this time. The people that really needed it never really got the amount that they needed, it seems like, and then those that didn't need it got thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 worth. A lot of times it was due to the fact they had a lot of kids, but it still didn't seem that was a fair amount for the age of those kids, if you get what I'm saying, compared to those that were working and still only getting a couple dollars. Especially last week, people were getting partial payments. $13, $17, things like that. I'm getting these updates live just as well as y'all are. Let's see what's going on.
So if y'all haven't heard, USDA says all SNAP recipients must reapply following fraud findings. And a lot of people in the comment section was like, well, that's not what it is. Well, then what the fuck is it? Huh? Because we all know somebody right now that sell food stamps. We know somebody that done lied on that paperwork to get food stamps just so they could sell it for some change. That is called fraud. Okay? So, hey, I ain't knocking nobody hustle though. But what I will say is, it's going to be very sad because a lot of people will not qualify. A lot of people will, they will not qualify. So, it's going to be back to square one. People are not going to be able to eat. They're going to have to go out here and get a little jobby job or, you know, which is hard as fuck to do. So, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. But I'm going to pray for those people that's not going to be able to eat again. And hope that there's some other resources that they can get until they get on their feet and get their shit together. Okay? All right.
This is the catalyst. Starvation will make people start to crash out, as we saw. People were crashing out. This will continue throughout the new year, especially as millions of claims have to process. There will be delays, rejections. It might be a backlog, especially as the government goes back into shutdown starting January 30th. I don't see a good outcome coming. More people starving, more people stealing, more crime. I'm telling y'all, it's the same thing as before. Nothing was really done as far as a resolution following the government reopening. If anything, this is what happened. Look now, everybody got to reapply. So if you have to reapply, what does that mean for the stamps on the 1st? Right? We're 2 weeks away from that. How long will applications be processed? How many people won't receive them on the 1st is the real question that we should be asking. That's what we need to figure out. And I'm going to dive more into these videos. I'm going to do a whole video specifically on this so I can get some more information. But this is just about fraud right now. Due to fraud, people have to reapply. That's the current update.
And when I tell y'all, I'm going to come back and let y'all know about the EBT, how about the recertifying and shit like that. Well, they're saying that it's 18,000 people out there that's getting EBT that's no longer alive. So that's the reason why they want everybody to reapply and trying to figure out where all this assistance going to when some of the people is no longer here. So if I known that I could get some benefits for the people that no longer here, baby, I would have been up in the system. Because I wouldn't be getting that. But it's fraud. That's right, fraud. So the ones that was actually getting this EBT for those people, family members, friends, loved ones that's no longer here, and you have eternity into the system, they're on your ass. They're on your ass. So get ready, hold tight, put on your seatbelts, and hope you're not the one that get caught. That's it. That's all for today.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's more of the clarity we were looking for. The 18,000 recipients were all deceased. People were getting down like that. getting EBT in their unalived relatives' names. Okay. Identity theft, basically. That was like some SNAP identity theft in a way. People had stamps in other people's names. That was going through. They were getting approved. Ain't that something? I just don't understand how the system has been that flawed that people could even get through with that. How does that get an approval? This is what they're saying. We know it's hard to believe the reason sometimes, because you mean 18,000 people are the reason everybody has to reapply, but millions of people thus far have been using and abusing the system, and that's not the reason? That would have been a more logical answer. We'd have been like, okay, cool, you're right. But the 18,000 got me kind of side-eyeing it. Got me kind of questioning it. But either way, regardless, everybody has to reapply now. Make sure y'all smash subscribe. I will be doing a video on that. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you for watching. Peace to my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I'll catch y'all on the next one.